Welcome to the Jaguar Football Show, where we bring you all the exciting action of the Southern University football program. It's brought to you by the Louisiana Lottery, Manda's Fine Meat, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana, Turner Industries, CareSouth Medical and Dental, LaBerge Casino, Louisiana 988 Helpline, Exxon Mobil, and Louisiana Propane Association.
Hello and welcome to the Jaguar Football Show. Of course, you see Perry White here rolling with me again this week. And we want to thank Monte Cristo Cigar Bar and Bistro for hosting us each week. They're located at 7808 Howell Boulevard. We shoot on Mondays about noon if you want to come and see the show taped. Of course, you can catch it about 6 times a week. Fox, Pelican, Z19. Those are your choices to catch it on the air. And of course, you can catch it at your leisure on our digital channels, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. All right, Perry, you were in Pine Bluff. I was in Pine Bluff. It was one of the hardest things to watch. The Jaguars got bested by the Golden Lions 40-21, and our record now is 1-8. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure this is probably one of the worst seasons we've had as Southern Jaguars, and it's just kind of tough to watch. I think one of the hardest things, Perry, that I have to try to make some sense about is why we are running a gifted running back like Trey Holly up the middle constantly, when if you bounce the kid out to the right or the left, he's got gifts that he ought to be able to make something happen if you don't beat him up.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things that Terrence Graves had a conversation about earlier this year when he made the change in terms of play caller. Inside zone seems to be Southern's go-to, and we saw it last year with first year offensive coordinator Mark Fredericks last year. Coming into the second year, just kind of seemed to be the same thing, but the offensive line does not seem to be doing its job to open those holes for Trey Holly. And that inside zone this past weekend was completely shut down by the Golden Lions front. Their defensive line was there catching Trey Holly in the backfield pretty much all day.
You know, the other thing, Perry, that, baffles me is, on our passing plays, it seems that we're running 2, 3, 4, 5-yard routes versus getting more vertical, 8, 10, 15 yards to move the chains. And so we end up 3 and out, and our defense ends up on the football field all night. And it's just kind of, tough to watch, tough to understand. Why are we not running routes deep enough to move the chains?
I think you got to equate that to the inexperience that you have at the quarterback position right now. Ashton Strother, who showed up 8 days before things got rolling for the Jaguars, he was the third-string quarterback. Nobody really knew his name up until that Fresno game. Mm-hmm. So giving him those short intermediate routes, making him comfortable, not allowing him in the pocket too long. And I talked about that offensive line. They were not blocking well in terms of rush offense, but then in terms of pass offense, giving Ashton something short to dump it off to across the middle tight ends, using them a little bit more in those short intermediate routes. I think when you want something down the field to develop, you just right now don't think he has the experience to sit back and go through his progressions to allow those plays to unfold.
Got to fix that. Let's jump into the highlights from the first half in Pine Bluff, your hometown, Perry.
Man, from the very jump, look here, Todd.
Muffed the kickoff, didn't scoop it up. Pine Bluff ball in scoring position, not even a minute into the game.
Yeah, Christian Peters right here hands and gets into the end zone. And you look at UAPB in this game, man. They found, I think they had to have watched the film that Southern and FAMU the week before, because what they did was attack Southern interior and wanted to run the ball. And they rushed for 158 yards in this game, 389 total yards of offense. And it was just tough for Southern on the ground. You talk about a team who really wanted to establish themselves. But one of the things, as you just saw right there, bad tackling in this game for the Jaguars.
All season long, man, it's been bad tackling. We're not wrapping up. And a couple of times in this game, the Southern defender just bumped into the Golden line. Mm-hmm. And one time he dragged 3 guys into the end zone. Another time they got a big gainer off of it. Great catch right there. Mm-hmm. As we talk about it, but tackling has been a challenge. Darren Morris getting into the end zone for the first time on Saturday night, and then Zimmer with the extra point.
You see right here, Strother taking that shot, looking for that pass, that vertical route, but then it was not there, and he threw it right to the defender.
Yeah, you may be right. That's why.
And then right here, bad tackling, and then you just let the guy look at this.
You know, it's like, man, if you wrapped his legs up, you'd have stopped him at the 5. You don't wrap him up, and he scores. It's like, come on, Jaguars.
And here's Strother right here getting chased out of the pocket, being brought down with a sack right there. But the golden lines, once again, looking at the interior of Southern, trying to find something there with a quarterback keeper.
Good open field tackle right there. I think that was Herman Brister. Unfortunately, they caught 3. They caught 3 ESPN You Got Moss passes. You know, I was surprised they weren't on ESPN Top 10 Plays on Saturday night. Yeah. When we come back, we're going to have highlights from the second half on the Jaguar Football Show. Stay with us.
Louisiana, your area codes just got lucky. Introducing the new Louisiana Lottery Area Code Scratch-Offs. 5 codes, 5 tickets, top prize, $50,000. Rep your code and play the Area Code Scratch-Offs today.
In December of 2011, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. There's an initial shock, I guess, but instead of turning it into a verdict, I considered it a challenge. As it turned out, Blue Cross Blue Shield, it was amazing. I was able to focus in on getting well, as opposed to wondering how I was going to pay for it. I'm Laura. I'm from New Orleans. I am cancer-free for 13 years and looking forward to so many more.
Mom, you know I hate going to the dentist.
Yes, but you're a real trooper and didn't give Dr. Daniel any problem.
Well, I like Dr. Pam. She really knows how to get me to relax. And I like how my teeth look when we leave Carousel.
Well, that's what a good dentist is supposed to do.
At Carousel, our dental team works hard to create beautiful smiles and take great care of your teeth. Call us for an appointment today.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
More than a century of fueling those in need has left our name etched in the history books. As the world changes, so do we at ExxonMobil Louisiana, ever evolving to be not an energy company of today, but the energy company of tomorrow. We're committed to tackling the world's toughest energy challenges, leading critical lower emission initiatives and growing opportunity for all. ExxonMobil, more than a century of proud Louisiana loyalty.
Welcome back to the Jaguar Football Show. You know, Perry, one of the things that I hoped for, we were down 24-7 at the half. I really felt like, you know, that's not too far back. We can get a spark, get a quick score, make it 24-14, play some good defense, and get back in the game. Just didn't happen.
Yeah, it was tough when you're looking at third down conversions for Southern. 5 of 14 on third down conversions. You talked about it as the show started. 3 and out, not being able to continue those drives and get down the field. And as you saw in the first half highlights, you saw Ashton Strother. He made some great throws across the middle to those short intermediate routes, but then it was the running game that never could open up to continue those drives. So when you consistently have a inexperienced offensive line with not being able to make that front push for your running backs, man, it's a tough day trying to convert those third downs and continue first downs.
You know, we talked about it a little bit in the first segment, but poor tackling, playing 10 yards off the receivers has really kind of plagued us all year. And you know, I would think it's fixable, but you got to practice that. You got to practice wrapping up the legs and bringing a player down, because a lot of times in this game, the UABB, either running back or receiver, he got some serious yak, yards after catch, or the running backs, they take a hit and then get another 3, 4, 6 yards because nobody's wrapping up their legs, and that's one of the things that I know we got to fix.
Yeah, and it worked well for UAPB, especially the running game. Their running back, Jalen Jennings, 25 carries for 99 yards and a touchdown. His longest run was 17, but also the quarterback, Christian Peters, 8 carries for 43 yards and a touchdown, with his longest being 20. Ellis Stewart, wide receiver for UAPB, 4 receptions for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just giving up plays, and that was the problem that plagued Southern this past weekend.
Let's jump into those highlights from the second half from the game at Simmons Bank Field. Here you see the Golden Lions getting into the end zone early.
Jalen Jennings right there.
Strother hitting Malachi Jackson right here. Good gainer right there by the Jaguars. And he comes back, and I think he hits Malachi again, but unfortunately that was a 4th and 2, and we couldn't convert. But here you go, Jaguars playing a little stout defense. That right there should have been a pick.
Yeah.
Everybody in the press box was saying, man, if he had just looked.
Look at that catch right there.
That catch was definitely ESPN worthy.
And now we make a quarterback change. After Ashton Strother couldn't really get it going, so they go back to Cameron McCoy.
Yeah, Cam got in and
this
did
is
some
what he
things
does
with his feet. Yep. Cam hit some passes. I always thought, Perry, they should have played Cam and Strother or Cam and Woods together.
Yeah.
Because all three have different skill sets, but Cam definitely, I think, has the better footwork and definitely is a weapon.
For what I see with Southern's offense, especially with a guy like Cam McCoy, he's too talented to be on the sideline.
Correct.
He's one of those utility guys you would love to see him maybe at wide receiver, at running back, maybe run some triple option plays with him, something to that nature. And you see right here with his athletic ability.
A true slash type player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was a good juke right here and getting some extra yards out of that completion. Here you see Cam get back. I think that's Dupree Fuller catching one and getting some good yardage. And here you see the Jaguars take it around right.
Cam faked him out.
Yeah, Cam faked the cameraman out. Zimmerman with the extra point. Here goes the Jaguars.
Now, oh man, this play right here.
Unique play. Cam catches his own batted ball, then throws it out of bounds. We get a intentional grounding and safety, so they get 2 points out of it. We had to kick off. Good defense right there by the Jags. Unfortunately,
once again, bad tackling.
Not tackling. Yeah. Another 20 yards because you didn't tackle. Yeah.
It was a tough day.
It was. The rains came and got a little cooler, and I think most Jaguars were ready to go home. When we come back, we're going to have the top choice players of the week on the Jaguar Football Show. Stay with us.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Find more of what you're looking for at L'Auberge Baton Rouge. More of the games you love with 1,000 slots, 50 tables, and a sports book. More of the flavors you crave with the area's best Asian cuisine and great steaks. More staycation relaxation with our rooftop pool, luxury rooms and suites, and epic views of the Mississippi. More top-name performers and the best local artists, plus an exceptional staff to take care of your every need. Add more to your story at L'Auberge Baton Rouge.
To protect my mental health, I like to listen to music and go on walks and just try to clear my mind.
I like to just go home, turn off all electronics, go on Do Not Disturb on my phone, and just sit there and prepare for the next day.
I read my Bible app every morning, and I also read daily affirmations just to make sure I stay motivated in my day-to-day.
Please call 988 if you're struggling with mental health or you need someone to talk to.
Welcome back to the Jaguar Football Show. Of course, each week in this segment, we have our top choice players of the week, honoring those players who really gave a great effort in the game. And of course, this week on offense, Darren Morris with 2 touchdown catches was our offensive player of the week. On defense, Grayson LaFleur had 13 tackles. Of course, Grayson is the son of former athletic director Greg LaFleur, and it was good to see Greg supporting his son up in Pine Bluff. I had a chance to get a picture with them and talk to them a little while after the game. The last player of the week on special teams is Gerald Hicks. I thought he had a couple of good returns on Saturday night. And so there are our top choice players of the week. All right, Perry, after the game, Joe Dupree and I had a chance to catch up with a couple of players, both Grayson LaFleur and also Darren Morris, and Joe filed this report.
Todd, I'm here with Darren Morris, and Darren, game didn't go the way we wanted to tonight. However, you was a bright light. You had 3 receptions, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. Let's talk about that. How did that feel?
It felt great. I thought that was the momentum we needed to get us back in the ball game, but it just fell up short.
Yes, it did. And need to ask you something. With the offensive production, these short little 5-yard slants, when we need first downs, but we're not getting the first downs, how do we improve on that?
We just got to make the right reads with it. We just got to work more on it in practice so we can actually call it in the game and actually get the depth of the ball and throw it deep and have the trust in the receiver and the quarterback timing.
I know that they be talking a lot about the 3 and outs. Let's talk about that too. How do we stop some of the mental mistakes? It seems to be we get there, then we get backed up, somebody's offside or something like that. How do we work on the mental mistakes?
We just gotta work on it at practice. Be mentally disciplined. You just gotta be a ball player. You gotta watch the ball. So we just gotta if we take those mistakes away, we'll be in the game way more than we have been.
I'm here with Grayson LaFleur, and Grayson, listen, 12 tackles today. Of course, we didn't come out with the win. Let's talk about our tackling. A lot of times, all I'm seeing is a hit, not a wrapping up. Can we work on that?
I mean, it's something we can work on. We work on it every day. We have tackle circuit. These are things we do every day. It's just, we got to be mentally strong and disciplined.
Talking about that, we come across with some of the penalties also. We see the face mask. Sometimes we get the personal foul penalties. Of course, I know we're working on that. In your opinion, is there somebody, including yourself, are y'all going to rise up to the occasion and be strong enough and be the ones who say, look, we're going to take leadership roles to take this in hand and move forward and do better?
Well, I know myself, I like to pride myself in my discipline. And at the end of the day, we work on these things. It's just up to every man for himself to really focus on himself and discipline himself. It's an inner self thing.
Todd, back to you in Coach's studio. You heard it right here on the Jaguar Football Show.
Thank you, Grayson, and thank you, Darren, and thank you, Joe, for that report. When we come back, we're going to talk about our next game against the Alcorn State Braves on the reservation this Saturday. Stay with us on the Jaguar Football Show.
More than a century of fueling those in need has left our name etched in the history books. As the world changes, so do we at ExxonMobil Louisiana, ever evolving to be not an energy company of today, but the energy company of tomorrow. We're committed to tackling the world's toughest energy challenges leading critical lower emission initiatives and growing opportunity for all. ExxonMobil, more than a century of proud Louisiana loyalty.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
At CareSouth Medical and Dental WIC, we take pride in helping families to better understand their nutritional needs. Our goal is to help expecting mothers and new mothers to take the best care of themselves and develop a healthy lifestyle that will benefit their infants from birth to childhood. When you participate in the WIC program, you will receive healthy, nutritious foods, breastfeeding support, and nutritional counseling. At CareSouth WIC, we believe healthy families are the best families. Call us for an appointment today at 225-650-2093.
My name is Trina. I'm from New Orleans, and I've been with Blue Cross Blue Shield for almost a year. Last year, it was right after my husband and I got married, I was diagnosed with a heart condition. When I received the diagnosis, I was terrified. And it was just so reassuring to know that I was covered. It's very empowering. Having the Blue Cross Blue Shield card in my wallet feels like armor. I'm just like, wow.
Don't be afraid. Conquer your fears. And play. Midnight Money. Win up to $13,000. Midnight Money from the Louisiana Lottery.
Welcome back to the Jaguar Football Show. This weekend, we play the Alcorn State Braves, our interim coach, Fred McNair's old team. And you know, Perry, I got to tell you, man, for about a 10-year stretch, Coach McNair and the Braves owned us. I hated Alcorn because we just couldn't ever seem to pull out that win. They always seemed to get up for us, and we might have a good season going and get up there to the reservation. They give us an L. They come down here, give us an L. But for about a 10-year stretch there, they own the Southern Jaguars.
Yeah, you know, you get a lot of times they recruit the area, so you get those local kids who get a chance to play against Southern. So that's the time for them to get up. Alcorn won last week against Texas Southern 33-14. So I believe the Braves will be ready to welcome the Jaguars up to the, he said, the academic resort.
I call it the reservation. Howard White up in here calling it the academic resort. But anyway, you know, it's got to be strange for Coach McNair to go back as the head coach of the Southern Jaguars to a place he called home as a player. And of course, you know, his younger brother, Steve McNair, was a superstar at Alcorn. And so it's got to be strange for Coach McNair to go back and be on the opposite side of the field from the home team at Alcorn. So that'll be an interesting dynamic. Perry, have you seen the Braves? I know you watch a lot of SWAC football. Have you seen them play this year?
Yeah, I've seen the Braves, and they've been kind of a hot and cold team. You know, they started off real bad, started the season off 0-4. They were on the road for a whole month before they finally got a home game to start off the month of October.
Okay.
But right now it seems like Cedric Thomas and his team is trying to figure it out. They're 9th in scoring offense in the conference, but when you look at defensively, they're right there in the middle of the pack, 4th in scoring, averaging 24, giving up 24 points a game. But one area I think where Southern wants to establish itself as a run team, Alcorn is 2nd in rush defense in the conference, only giving up 136 yards a game. So that's something Southern's going to have to look at on film to figure out what can they do to be able to get that offense going against the Braves defense.
Yeah, and Perry's right. There are 2-3 in the SWAC and 3-6 on the season, and coming off a win over TSU this past weekend. So I'm sure they want to keep that win streak going. You know, Perry, one thing about the reservation is there's going to usually be a good crowd. It's only 2 hours from Southern University. I think it's the best drive for our SWAC competitors because it's only 2 hours away. And so definitely want to see the Jaguar Nation in the house to support the players, support the team, and we want you to get up there. You know, Perry, one of the other things that we have to look at when we're talking about this game, as you know, we got 3 games left in this season: Alcorn, Texas Southern, our traditional bye week, and then the Bayou Classic. What do you think Coach McNair wants to accomplish in these last 3 games?
Probably just try to get this team to stay focused. Do not give up. There's still something to play for, and that's pride being a Jaguar.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you need that for the fan base as you close out this season to give some hope for your fan base as we get ready to close things out.
All right. There you have it from P. White. When we come back, we'll close out this week's edition of the Jaguar Football Show.
To protect my mental health, I just take little breaks during stressful situations and realize where you are and what you're doing and reevaluate the situation from a different angle.
I like to journal, listen to music, and like go on walks. The scenery really like uplifts me.
I personally listen to music, I read books, I give myself affirmations to know that I'm going to be okay, and I know that I am better at defeating my mental.
Protect your mentals. Find more of what you're looking for at LeBear's Baton Rouge. More of the games you love with 1,000 slots, 50 tables, and a sports book. More of the flavors you crave with the area's best Asian cuisine and great steaks. More staycation relaxation with our rooftop pool, luxury rooms and suites, and epic views of the Mississippi. More top-name performers and the best local artists, plus an exceptional staff to take care of your every need. Add more to your story at LeBear's Baton Rouge.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Should be a beautiful fall day this weekend on the reservation. Go on up and support the Jags.
Go Jags!